Thank you for tuning in to Macroview Television and welcome to a brand new edition of Taiwan Outlook, the program that presents the different faces and lets you hear the different voices on Taiwan. I'm your host, Ray Guo. Do you enjoy indigenous art from Taiwan? And how is indigenous art received internationally? On today's program, we're delighted to have a special guest, and he is Mr. Yosifu, who is an indigenous artist from Taiwan originally and now currently lives in Edinburgh in the UK, to be our special guest and talk about how Taiwan can promote itself through the introduction of indigenous art. Welcome to our program, Yosifu.
Hi, Raymond. Yeah. It's so good to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Oh, thank you.
And we're going to start off the program by asking you a question.
Okay.
To ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
All
we
right.
understand that you were born, of course, in Taiwan.
Yes.
But you now currently live, in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, in the UK.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about your experience, please.
I born in a very, very small village called East Coast, in Hualien. Maybe just only 30 family called Martailing village.
Okay.
And then most of the people over there, they grow like rice over there, pretty fair. So I grew up this kind of environment. Okay. Everything is green, and mountain is green, and then playground is green. So for me, at that time, this was the most boring place. It's because we want to see more. Because over there, it's not a lot of exciting things. And
I can imagine.
Yeah, so that's for me, it is the most boring places to stay. But right now, for me, that's the most beautiful place.
Of course.
Yeah.
And after you graduated from high school, then you came to Taipei.
I came to Taipei.
And you originally wanted to be a singer. Okay.
My original, my dream is I want to be a singer. Because when I was little, I knew it. One day I wanted to be a big singer because I enjoy singing or performing in front of the stage. And then that's my dream. But unfortunately, this dream is not really easy. It's because in Taiwan or in Asia, most of the people, they prefer, whiter. And then it's more beautiful and then white like idol style. Unfortunately, my skin is quite dark. And then in the market, they don't think this is a good the singer. They have to choose. So even though a few times I try to join the international sing competition, even though I won, but still cannot get that through.
Any contract.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is quite difficult for me.
Of course. Yeah. So how did you decide that you want to move to Edinburgh?
1998.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time, a friend of mine from Edinburgh just called me, say, "Hi, Yosifu, how are you?"
Okay.
I just said, "I'm not really good." And then he asked me, say, "Oh, what's going on?" And I tell him more about because even though I try to do my best to try to be a singer or even though join the sing competition, but still cannot get through. So. I'm not really happy. And then he just told me, say, well, if you're not really happy, why not you come to Edinburgh? You can relax, come over here, relax. When you get a feel better, maybe you can go back again.
Okay.
At that time, I just take the suggestion. So
took the offer.
Take it away and then fly to there.
But after you got to Edinburgh, and then why did you decide to give up your singing career option completely and decided to become a painter and an artist?
It's like that. I remember the first time when I arrived in Edinburgh, I just think this is the most beautiful city in the world. It's because they have a lot of beautiful architecture like Gothic style and the Georgian style. As for me, it is almost like a fairy tale. I really enjoy that. It's because this for me, this is the beauty of the Europe. And also a lot of art events going on, like International Arts Festival. And then they have a music festival as well. It's a whole city that's very artistic. And then I told myself, say, whoa, this is the place I want to be and I want to stay. So I asked my friends, say, how to stay here? And then fortunately at that time, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago at that time, it's not that I'm still young.
Yes, of course.
And then there is an opportunity over there. And then I make a decision, I want to stay over there. And then lots of friends help me. Okay. And then until now, I stay over there.
Yes. Yeah. And for the time that you were in Edinburgh,
yeah.
did you ever think about, maybe picking up the singing career again? Mm-hmm. But you ended up instead becoming an artist, a painter. Mm-hmm. What was the motivation for you to choose art, to pursue art as a career?
For me, singing this kind of thing still is my passion inside me.
Still in your blood.
But unfortunately, how hard I try, it's just still no work. Okay. So, and at that time, I remember that once a time, a friend of mine invited me going to Greece. In Athens. That's 2003.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, I doing the job like the painter.
Yes.
But not for art, it's for the world at that time. And then because they have a cheap flight ticket for me, so I said, why not to take an easy jet to over there? So I go over there to have a look.
Go to Greece.
And then after Greece, I think I get influence from the local arts, and then also the beauty of the city, the city of the art over there. When I go back to Edinburgh, I start thinking, maybe I can start to draw something. Yes. It's because in Athens they have lots of different kind of business culture, business gallery, for commercial gallery. I just told myself, I wish I can draw like that, because I remember few of the artwork I cannot afford, and then I started thinking if I can draw would be nice. So I started to draw myself, and then one day my landlord saw my art. And then I didn't know you can draw. I said, I didn't know either.
Artist, yes.
So he said, well, my living room is quite empty. Why not? You can put your art to my living room, and then you can be able to let people appreciate your art. Mm-hmm. So one day he have a big party, and his friend come over, and then he saw my art, and then he's the direct, curator?
Yes.
For the exhibition. That is a young mixed exhibition for 10 people.
Good.
So he say, I like your art, and then he like to invite me to go to join this exhibition, mixed exhibitions, and whoa, for me like, wow, is it serious?
Was that the first invitation you received?
Yeah, that's the first invitation, because I didn't plan that I want to be a painter.
No.
Like proper work, because inside me I still wanted to be a singer.
Okay. Yeah. But Yosifu, before you received the first invitation, since the fact that you never received any formal, painting training, I mean, were there moments of frustration that you're, I wanted to paint like this, but my work ended up to be like this. It's not what I really wanted. But I can see just by talking to you on the program so far that you're very passionate.
Okay.
You have a lot of emotion that you can share with people, that you can demonstrate through your artworks, that people understand what was going through your mind when you painted this. Yeah. I understand that. But, I mean, were there moments that you felt maybe, I just wasn't there yet?
This is a good question.
Yeah.
I think inside me, I do have a talent, I think.
Yes.
Just the talent need to wait until the right timing.
Yes.
Being discovered. So I never find out any problem for creative thing. It's because when I start to do painting, it's non-stop. It's because I find out I do enjoy the creative arts. I enjoy the color. I enjoy the creation.
It naturally flows.
Yeah, it's the energy start to from inside, and then non-stop. Okay. So it is quite interesting, even though, I never been to any school to have a
formal training.
Yeah, formal training. But inside me have that kind of passion, I think, and this passion push me to creative art. Yes. Continue non-stop.
Yeah, a lot of people would think that passion sometimes is a lot more important than receiving that formal training. And given the fact that you got your first invitation to to be a part of this exhibition, what were some of the goals that you set for yourself after you now, becoming better known, to the local people, to some of the international collectors? What were some of the things that you want to convey through your artworks about Taiwan, about the indigenous people in Taiwan? Please.
Okay. In the beginning, my art style is quite like a Western style, like flower, animal, the beauty figure.
Okay.
And then until one day, a friend of mine asked me, say, "Hey, Yosifu, I remember you told me you're from Taiwan. How come, and also you are indigenous people from Taiwan. How come I never see any indigenous artwork from you?" At that time, it's really, really like punching me. And then at that time, I started thinking, hang on. Maybe it's the time to let me start to create this kind of artwork. Okay. So I start to go back to my village, my own village, and also ask some more information about from my people. And then when I go back, and then I start to create my artwork. Good. And then I find out Taiwan indigenous art is just fascinating, and it's treasure for Taiwan. It's because a lot of myth inside, the meaning and then the beauty, and then also each indigenous people, they have their own story, and then the color, and then the pattern. It's fascinating. And then I think I like to using this indigenous art from Taiwan to showing people the beauty of the Taiwan.
Yes.
I remember at that time, 2008, first time I have an exhibition, open my exhibition is called in Taiwan, the beauty of Taiwan in Edinburgh. And then I quite nervous. It's because I'm not sure people will accept.
If you capture the essence.
Yeah, but fortunately they excited for this is because exotic.
Yeah.
And then this kind of colorful color for them.
Good.
It's a happy thing.
It was an eye-opening experience for many people, especially in Europe, I'm sure.
And then also they adore this kind of, tropical color.
Yes.
This happy color.
Of course.
That's kind of miserable weather.
Very passionate.
The colorful things. It's
just like your personality.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a happy thing for them. Good. So I start from 2008 until now. And I'm happy, and people accept that, and then also think this is a unique art.
Good artist. Yosifu, what we're talking about your experiences of transforming yourself, from Taiwan to Edinburgh, and also from originally wanted to be a singer, and now you are a very established artist, a painter. And let me ask you, this time you're back in Taiwan.
Yes.
Then you are involved in the design and showcasing of a fashion show in Taiwan. And this is the one of the rare occasions, if not the only occasion, that an indigenous artist like yourself is able to combine his works with the fashion world. Can you tell us a little bit, elaborate on this for us, please?
For me, most of the people, even though right now they living in Taiwan, but they not really understand indigenous arts or culture, the background. So I think about how to use this kind of original art, connect with the modern world. I think T-shirt is the good the good thing to close to people. So my plan is a collaboration with the fashion company, using my artwork into the T-shirt. Good. And then let people can wearing and then more understand about indigenous cultural or the arts. And then for me is Taiwan indigenous arts, especially, there's a very, very colorful.
Yes.
And then young people love it. Yeah. And then I think if young people start to understand more about indigenous from Taiwan, and also that's kind of multicultural things in here, and then they will start to respect each other.
Of course.
I think so.
Yes.
So I think so. This time for me, it's my first experience. I'm quite excited.
Yes.
When I saw the first design, and Raymond, I'm so excited. It's because all my painting, my artwork on top of the T-shirt, and then when the model wearing, and then when they walk, they try to testing the catwalk. Oh my God, it's
fabulous.
Fabulous, and that energy and. Really, almost like I'm really touching.
Yes,
like be able to using this kind of traditional artwork into the modern world, but to be able to let people more understand us.
Yes, I can see that you're very willing to experiment, and certainly this, we wish you all the success in this upcoming fashion show. I'm sure it's going to be. We'd like to see more of it in the future.
Oh, thank you.
And Yosifu, we also understand that you are the first and the only artist from Taiwan.
So far.
And that promotes Taiwan's indigenous art in Europe and also to other parts of the world. How is the experience like? I mean, you said at the beginning of the program that not many people in Europe or anywhere else, for that matter, that really understand what indigenous art from Taiwan is all about. And does that experience, has it been very frustrating and lonely sometimes? And since you're the only and the first artist to do so,
it is. And for me, I think I got a chance at the right timing, right place to showing my artwork. Indigenous. I think, so far, I'm the only, and then promote Taiwan indigenous arts and culture in Europe. I hope in the future we have more artists over there. It's because most indigenous artists, they live in either live in a village or live in Taiwan. And then also maybe they don't have a chance to cross overseas, to move to other country to stay. And also, it's just because the language problem. So maybe they join some festival, but not based over there. They just been invited, go over there, but come back. But right now, because I moved to there, so I have the base over there. I think, hang on, this is a good opportunity to let me start from UK to showing people about the beauty of Taiwan indigenous art over there. I start from 2008 until now, the many years. And especially last year, we have 4 indigenous performance group joined the International Arts Festival. They got a 4-star review.
That's wonderful.
It is just really get attention.
Of course.
And then it's because unique, and then also it's fresh, and very.
People never expected this.
It's fresh. That's why. Also exotic as well. And then the review, and then also people like it.
Must have been very encouraging. So. And let's talk a little bit about your artworks. We understand that Yosifu, you do a lot of portrait. Why is it? I mean, because, if you were born in, Hualien, some people would expect that you do a lot of the scenery, and also now you're basing the landscape in Edinburgh. It's a beautiful place in Scotland, so people will expect that you do some of those, but you do quite a bit on portrait. Now, why is it?
Well, I think in the moment, why I continue to draw the portrait is because for me, human body or human is the most beautiful things to creative.
It's probably most difficult as well.
It's the most difficult. But for me, it's more interesting because you look at the face, the body, the figure,
the emotion.
If you can get there, you can draw anything. So I challenge myself to start from the most difficult one. But also I enjoy that. It's because I love to see the people face. I love the beauty of the human body, and then also human body or human face can help me to send my message what I want. For example, one of my artwork called Can Speak. Just one beautiful village lady, close the eyes and then do a pose like that. Can speak. I send a message about when I was little, we've been forbidden to speak our own mother language. That's why right now a lot of young people, they cannot speak their own mother language. So I using human, poetry to send my message. The behind is
exactly.
So,
right.
and then also human. This subject is the best one for me.
A lot of people wouldn't know that unless people like you, through your artworks, able to convey those messages. We also understand, Yosifu, like you said, that Edinburgh is a place for international art. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of festivals, a lot of the activities going on. And we understand that you have some of your works exhibited at the Edinburgh Art Festival.
Yes.
Can you share with us what those, some of your artworks are?
Okay. And I remember 2013, I've been invited from the dance organization called Dance Base. It's because at that time they have that kind of issue is let's dance, this kind of thing. And at that time I have one of the series about showing people about the beauty of the dancer. Indigenous people we dance and we sing. So for me this is very easy. So I using this kind of like old dancer figure to showing the beauty of indigenous culture and art. And then most of the people start to ask Christians, say, wow, I didn't know that in Taiwan you do have indigenous people. And then also you have 16 different kind of tribes. They start to ask more about how the Taiwan weather is, how the Taiwan look like, the food. And then suddenly I realized at that time, even though just only very simple is my expression, but people, I have a chance to put more, to tell people about what is Taiwan is. And then after that, people say, maybe next time I can go into Taiwan to visit. So that's really, really good thing for me.
And you have also been to other international art festivals trying to promote Taiwan's indigenous art. What was the reaction for people in other art festivals that you have attended? Regarding Taiwan's indigenous art and regarding your artwork.
I think my artwork is focused in indigenous artwork. And in the beginning, I quite nervous about how the European, they don't...
How they react to it?
How would they react to it? Because they have never been. But I forgot that, Gauguin. In 18th century or early 19th century, he went to the Tahiti. At that time, people know about that, that kind of tropical Tahiti artwork. They understand that already, and also they like it. Especially when I start to tell them, say, I'm from Taiwan and also a Polynesian, in Pacific, this area. And then they compare my artwork and say, your art remind me Gauguin. That's kind of colorful things, that kind of style, that's kind of like the beauty of the paradise. And then they love it. And then they accept very, very soon. And then surprise me. And also, I think that would be easier for me to explain more about.
What would be some of the things they are most curious over Taiwan's indigenous people and also, indigenous art? Are they, more interested about the history, more about the lifestyle, more about the conditions that the indigenous people in Taiwan today live under? What are some of the things?
That's very interesting, Raymond. The beauty of the art, the main thing, of course. And then the other thing is a politician issue. Politician issue is whether the government should treat you good or
preserve your culture, your language.
What's the situation right now in between modern world and the traditional world? How people can
reconcile the differences.
And then financial issue, education issue,
health issues,
and then also the racist issue as well. There are so many very deep and also quite sensitive Christian. So at that time I have a chance to be able to explain to them.
You have the opportunity to present a more comprehensive picture of the lifestyle, about the conditions of indigenous people in Taiwan.
That's
today.
a really, really good experience for me, Raymond.
Well, it's certainly been very helpful to Taiwan's indigenous people. Yosifu, we were talking about your experiences promoting Taiwan's indigenous art in Europe and in other parts of the world as well. But let me ask you this. I mean, in addition to what, people around the world now becoming more curious and interested in the indigenous art and in the indigenous people in Taiwan, what are some of the other questions they may ask in relation to the fact that you originally came from Taiwan? Do a lot of people still, for example, confuse Taiwan with Thailand?
Yes, that's very interesting. Let me tell you, Raymond, it's every time they asking me, say, where you come from? I say Taiwan. I've been to Bangkok.
Yes, or I've been to Phuket Island.
Yeah, because for them, Thailand and Taiwan, it's quite similar sound.
Exactly.
So it's confused them. But I think this time for me it's my chance to explain to them and also tell more about what Taiwan is.
Exactly. And Yosifu, for the past 5 or 6 years, our government has been very much promoting tourism to Taiwan.
Yes.
And then this year, 2015, our government estimates that we can have over 10 million overseas foreign visitors to Taiwan.
Good. That's really good.
But we're going to turn back the clock 2 years. We're going to go back to 2013, when you were invited to do a solo exhibition at Taoyuan International Airport, the gateway to Taiwan. And you felt this was a big honor. A lot of people will agree that was a big honor. And can you elaborate on this, with us, telling us that what does that mean to you when you were invited to give the exhibition?
Okay, for me this is my really big honor. Actually, I'm quite emotional to tell you this, is because most of the people think Taiwan indigenous art is not the main art. Maybe just handicraft things or the second class
textile.
And this kind of thing. Or just only like souvenir level arts. And never get through to that level. And 2013, I've been able to invite you to go to the international gateway in the airport, and I feel so excited for this. It's because finally I have a chance to let international people or most important people know or see about the beauty of indigenous
art. And also at the same time, for the people in Taiwan to appreciate your artworks. That's also very important, I think.
Yes. I think that's a good opportunity for me, and because for me in Taiwan, indigenous art is the things can represent Taiwan to the people what Taiwan is.
Exactly.
And, it's because we are the original who living in here. So we have this kind of history and then the beauty.
You have that bond with Taiwan.
At that time, I really understand, especially when I tell mom and dad, you know what, they're quite emotional, and then they're really proud of me. And then also, I think one thing is I encourage a lot of young people, especially young artists, can working hard. If one day they wanted to do this, Yosifu can do that. You can do that as well. I inspire a lot indigenous young people to be accept who they are and then be proud of who they are.
Yosifu, you're actually very modest, because we understand that now you have become more established as an indigenous artist, that you have actually given back quite a bit to your community. You visit, for example, to remote areas and talk to young children and try to say, what you just said, try to inspire them, to use yourself as an example. If they want to, fulfill their dreams, pursue their dreams, they should follow the similar pattern. You also teach them, for example, more about the international, conditions, teach them a little bit about English, and tell us a little bit what was your motivation, to doing those things, and what was the most satisfying part of making that commitment?
All right, let's start from 2010.
2010.
Stanley Yan is, I think, this is my best friend and also my close friend, also like my guide, my teacher. Stanley Yan invited me to join the arts camp in Taidong.
Yes.
At that time, I don't have any experience. And then I said, look, I don't have experience. I'm like non-training. And then how can I do? I said, no, you just tell Stanley Yan, just tell me, you just tell them your own story, how you moved to UK and how you start until right now. Your story to inspire them, to encourage them. And then at that time, I said, okay then. So I started to teach them. And then I find out when I tell young people about my story, and then the eyes is open. It's because they don't have this kind of opportunity. They're interested to listen to this kind of fascinating traveler, the story. And then after that, I think I do the good thing is I encourage them want to be one day discover the world when they grow up to discover the world. So since that time, and then I start every year from 2010 until now. Every year, if I come back, I have a time. I go to the mountain or go down to the seafront village far away, which is not a lot of people want to go. It's because they don't have a lot of opportunity or people to go to there to tell them more about outside world. So I think they need it, and then also, I come from this kind of small village. I really know what they need. So I go over there to showing them the photo, like traveling, my artwork, and tell them more about the outside world, and then to try to inspire them. We're born in a village. The world, not just only village. How big is the world? Be discovered, be brave, and I can do that, and you can do that as well. So every summer or every winter, if I come back, I have time, I go over there. I think this is this kind of thing is valuable. It's because to be encouraged or let them know to be proud of themselves. That's very important because the most indigenous young people, they're not really confident of themselves, and they think they're not good enough. So I think this is my time or my chance to tell them, so I can do that, you can do it as well.
Exactly. And we understand that Yosifu, you take your commitment to the indigenous community in Taiwan very seriously. Because in addition to visiting them, every time that you come back to Taiwan, you're also in the process of setting up a foundation, for the art. And can you tell us a little bit about the concept behind the foundation, and also what's the current status of the foundation?
This foundation is quite independent. It's a start from me. It's because I think right now I have experience to doing this, and I can start to training some young people. They don't need to be indigenous people. If any non-indigenous people, they respect, they're interested more about indigenous culture, or they care about, they'd like to do something more about. And then I open my door, welcome them. It's because in Taiwan, we have a very bad history, like, people look down at us, or we don't like, non-indigenous people. I think hating is no future. I think, accept each other, understand each other,
and respect
each other. That is the future. So I think by this platform, I can, invite young people, even though non-indigenous people, come with me. We do this kind of like a cultural swap, cultural extent. And young people from the city, they can come with me to the visit village, have opportunity to stay with them, understand them, and then young indigenous people or child that they can come to my gallery or come to city to understand more about, you know, the thing they never see. You know, they can be able to know each other and respect each other. It's because Taiwan, it is a multicultural place.
Yes.
So we need to do this more about.
Okay. Yeah. And I understand this is a very, you know, important idea, a very important project. Yeah. But, you know, given the fact that you yourself maybe have only limited resources, yes, what is the reaction from the larger society? You know, for example, from the corporate world? I understand that Mr.严长寿has been very supportive. Yes. But how about the other, you know, corporations or even the government agency? Have they been able to assist you in setting up the foundation, pushing some of the programs forward?
That's a very good question. I think everything, if you start it, and then people will see it.
Yes.
And then, even though from the beginning, it's quite difficult for me. So sometimes I have to pay myself. I have to prepare my own stuff to go to the mountain. And then without any helping, it's quite limited. But because since when you start to doing it, people will see it. People will understand you and start to support you. Good. Even though right now I still, you know, independent to organize this, I believe in the future where more people join me. And then I'm glad in this moment start to have some like an independent company. They saw the things I done, and then they say, "Can I join you? Can I support you?" Something like a driver or, you know, any like a book, secondhand book. I say, all welcome. And so I have a arts camp in the deep mountain called Sima Kusi village. Yes. Then I am going to open the first ever in history, the deep mountain gallery over there. Okay, good. And then some of the independent company, you know, they help me to build it, set up. And then I really feel so touching. And then look, start from little me, and then can let a lot of people join this. Good. I think that is a fantastic thing.
Well, I mean, the work you're doing is really wonderful. All right, we're talking about the gallery that you're going to build in the remote villages in Taiwan. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit more about that project, please?
I think young people or indigenous people, they have that kind of art talent. Yes. Why not, you know, continue to let them, you know, create their art, and then but have the proper place to showing their talent. To demonstrate. Yeah, it's because most people think indigenous people, they can sing. They can sing. They can dance. They can dance. But also one other part, they can to be like have a gallery or to be like a successful painter or artist. But I find out right now most indigenous artists or village, they don't have this kind of like a gallery things. No. I think why not? Because I have experience. I have a gallery in Taipei. I like to creative new thing to the village, which is they have it already. Yes. They have that kind of like element, and they have that kind of talent, and then just copy my gallery to there. It's because it's so easy for them. Why not? It's because a lot of the tourists, when they're going to the village, they want to see more about not just only the food, dance, or singing. Yes. They can take the beauty of the art, take it back, this beautiful memory, take it back. Yeah, I think this is also is good education, good opportunity to let them know. So me and maybe over 20 of the young people join me. Okay. And some of them they drive, and some of them you know, they help me to teach the child how to use the color. Okay. Some of them they help me to dance as well. We have a dance class, painting class, also sing class as well. Right. So we are going to creative arts over there, inspire them, but it's not joining like Hello Kitty or Disney World thing. I'm going to let them to see their own beauty, what it is. So I will invite the local people wearing their own traditional dress, and then from the tartan and the color, creative their own story. their own style,
yes,
and become art. And then after that, we are going to put this beautiful art in their own like village. Gallery,
yes,
and then one day they can doing this kind of thing in the village, and then can encourage more young people can doing the things what I did right now.
Yes,
yeah.
I would suppose that most of these children
yes.
are very excited that you are bringing this exhibition to their villages.
Yes,
and given the fact that they are having this opportunity
yeah.
will allow them to discover their capacities beyond their dreams. What do you think, what happened will inspire them, of course, but after the exhibition is over, what do you think that this would, help the younger children, indigenous children in Taiwan, in terms of the pursuit of their dreams? What do you think?
I think painting or have exhibition just the part of the one just only the event, but the
yes.
most important thing is I want to let them be and accept themselves,
yes.
and also appreciate their cultural, and then also be confident of themselves. It's because we are losing the confidence of ourselves, and then also we're afraid of the people we look down as us.
Yes.
So I think by this kind of event, let them more know about the beauty of them, how special they are, and then how beautiful they are, and then accept themselves, and then be proud of who they are. This is the main thing. Exhibition, just event,
yes.
but the main behind is encourage them, be proud of who they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And given the fact that you have done so much for the indigenous children of Taiwan, we understand that you also teach some of them English. Okay, because we know that for the years that you spent in Europe, your English is very good.
I'm still not perfect yet. No, I do my best.
Yes, and how was their reaction when you teach them English? I mean, they certainly will have the ability to master a different language.
Okay.
But also in the same time, do you teach them about the lifestyle, about the conditions in a different country, and broaden their international perspectives?
Okay, I think my English, is rubbish for me.
No, you're too modest. Yes. Yes.
You know what? Interesting. My experience is I can listen, I can speak, I can read. You know what, Raymond? I can write, I can spell. I'm so terrible. But, language, this kind of thing is just enough to let people know each other, conversation.
Yes.
I think that's it. Because I'm not using this for English teacher to ask like proper job. If like that, I need to know more about training. But for me, I just inspire them and say, actually, language this kind of thing. If you speak more, brave to speak out, you just speak more. Like a child, when it's beginning, they listen first and then they speak. The more you speak, the more you can speak. And then also I tell them, say, well, English is not our mother language anyway, so if we say something wrong, so what?
Yes.
And also, you know what? Indigenous language, the way we pronounce like S, X, R, X, this kind of thing is very similar of our mother language.
That's good.
That's why I think to inspire or encourage indigenous young people to speak English, I think that's very easy.
Yes.
It's because to pronounce, for them, it's quite easy to pronounce.
Okay.
So I didn't teach them how to speak English. I just inspired them, say, if you speak wrong, so what?
Yes.
Yeah, the more you brave, and then you can speak more.
Yeah,
so
that people can understand us.
Understand. Yeah,
yes.
That's the main thing.
Exactly.
We can understand each other.
So, like we've been discussing, that Yosifu, language is a form of communication.
Yes.
And so is artworks.
Yes.
Like your art, and you convey messages.
Yeah.
Convey your emotions. Through your art.
Yeah.
In the years past. Now you're looking back in some of the artworks that you have completed. Did you think that you have express your own feelings, the kinds of messages that you want to convey. Did you think that you have been fairly successful in terms of doing that?
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think right now I'm like a successful.
Okay.
I still learning. I still try to do the
modest.
best.
Yes. Okay.
And I think through by my artwork, I want to send that message is let people more understand indigenous situation and then also respect.
Yes.
And then also
that is very important.
Also encourage indigenous people more appreciate what they have and then be proud of who they are. Yes.
Okay. And
through my art. And also I like to through my art to let people know about environment care. It's because right now, indigenous land has been destroyed very much, you know, for those past year. And then also, you know, rainforests in Brazil. And this is a global issue. So I think environment care, through by my artwork, you know, people more understand like a human being, more respect to different kind of tribe people, and then more care about environment care, this kind of issue.
Exactly.
That's my aim.
Okay, you've certainly done very well in that regard.
I do my best.
And the final question I'm going to ask you, Yosifu, on the program today is that we living on Taiwan, we understand that for the last 20, 30 years, we have been somewhat internationally isolated.
Yes.
You know, not many people know about Taiwan. You know, the situation has improved in recent years, but I don't think it's at the point where people are happy with it yet. But I think what you've been doing in Europe for the last 10, 15 years is really being very admirable, because you're able to introduce Taiwan, introduce the indigenous art of Taiwan to people in Europe and all over the world, and let them have a better understanding of Taiwan, about the people, about the culture and the lifestyle. And would you then, based on your experience in the last 15 years or so, would you think that, promoting Taiwan, and making Taiwan more visible internationally by using the promotion of indigenous art from Taiwan is a very effective way, and this is an avenue that people should pay more attention and have more resources devoted in the future. What do you think?
This is very, very good question. For the politician issue in the international, we have so difficult for us, the reasons.
Yes, of
but through by culture and arts, especially Taiwan, this kind of like a very, very rich Taiwan indigenous people, performance in the international arts festival or event,
always very
so
well
easy
received.
Get attention. The camera will be there. It's because the color, the fascinating, the exotic image,
the passion,
the passion. I think there is opportunity to let Taiwan more, let the world to see through by indigenous art and culture and more visible. And also, I'm so proud of to be a Taiwanese Raymond. It's because we have so many different kind of tribe people and also different kind of nationality, like nation people from mainland China. It's it's how interesting it is. Also, we have a beautiful land. Listen, it's Formosa. It's beautiful, still beautiful, if we continue to more care about protect our land. So,
Yosifu, you've certainly been honored to have you on the program today.
Oh, this is my pleasure.
We very much admire the work, not only your arts, but also the contribution that you have made internationally to make people more aware of the indigenous people and the arts from Taiwan.
I do
Certainly
my best.
want to wish you all the best
Thank you
in your
so
future
much,
personal and professional endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raymond.
I want to thank you for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on Macroview Television. Thank you.